Hello, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond, also known as your modern day nun, one who isn't within a coven, a convent, or a covenant. I do thank you all for listening and for watching on today. If you would be so kind to like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. For those of you who are listening and watching, this is going to be a general reading for the overall collective of any zodiac sign. Please remember to only take the messages that apply, leave the ones that do not. This could pertain to your past, your present, or your future, or this could pertain to somebody else who is close or near and dear to you, a family member, a friend, a co-worker, a neighbor, who knows, okay? So just take the messages that apply, leave the ones that do not, okay, guys? So I'm going to cleanse the energy really quick, and we are going to get started, okay? So I am going to start off with a channel message for this reading here that I am going to share with you all, okay? So tonight's channel message, sorry guys, is family humans having sex with each other. Incest, a dirty little family secret covered up. So again, family having sex with each other. Incest, a dirty little secret covered up. Okay? So we're going to get into some dirty little family secrets that have been covered up here, okay? I'm pretty sure that many of you are familiar with the term of incest, okay? Like I said in the first statement, this is family members who have sex with one another, okay? This is done in various different ways. More often than not, when this happens, it occurs... I don't know if I want to use the word naturally, but it occurs when two persons of the same family want you, okay? There are other situations where there are situations of rape or something like that that occurs, that happens or whatever. But we're going to be going through some different things here, okay? Because this is not something that is one-sided. There are sisters having sex with brothers, fathers having sex with daughters, aunts having sex with nephews, uncles having sex with nieces, mothers having sex with sons, cousins having sex with other cousins, and even same-sex matchups, okay? Grandfathers or grandparents having sex with grandchildren as well, okay? And a lot of people... I'm going to start this off by saying a lot of people probably, either refrain from admitting it, okay? But many people who grow up with and have some type of taboo type of sexuality, or end up being lesbian or gay, okay? This stems from trauma in some type of way, whether you can remember it or not, okay? The younger you are, your minds are like sponges, okay? Everything that you know is things that you have been taught, things that you have been seen, or that you have seen, or things that you have been told, okay? And whether something was done in a playful, friendly way, or whether something was done forcibly, or whether, it was done, by two willing people willing to do this together, okay? This happens all the time here, okay? And, there's a lot of people who have experienced sexual abuse, molestation, and rape who turn out to be lesbian or gay. It's kind of hit and miss sometimes, okay? Because usually when a female is sexually abused, molested, or raped, she either turns out to be very sexually promiscuous and searching for the love in all the wrong places, or she turns out to be lesbian and end up hating men, okay? Um, Boys who are sexually abused, molested, or raped, oftentimes they end up being gay, or even if they do grow up and still is heterosexual, they have a hatred, oftentimes, maybe towards women, or in different ways and different things. It happens in different ways. I'm not saying this is like this for everybody. There was this whole thing where, like, born this way type of thing or whatever, but some people have experienced trauma that you don't remember here, okay? And trauma doesn't mean that somebody did something to hurt you. You understand what I'm saying? Some people have been in, some lesbians, for instance, have been in families where your cousins or an aunt or other people a little older than you in your family have introduced you to, like, girl on girl type of action. You may not even remember this because you were younger and you end up being attracted to this or like this. It's the same thing for boys, okay? And this is especially for situations where you were groomed or you were molested, but you wasn't penetrated, okay? Because from when you are penetrated, especially the younger you are, this is something that is painful at first. So you're going to remember it to a certain degree, unless something was done to alter your state of mind, and you would say given a drug or something to make you forget something that you have experienced. What I'm telling you is incest happen in various different ways. Many of us who I'm going to use myself as example, okay? Because I don't want anybody to feel some type of way and think, I, set myself apart from other people and picking on other people like that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And I've told you all several times, I share these things with you all. These are not things I dwell on or harp on, okay? I plan to write this all up and make this legible and all this other type of thing. I tell you all the time, one of these days I'm going to share my testimony with you all, okay? But I've really kind of been doing this in bits and different pieces, okay? So let me explain this to you, for instance, okay? Now, when I was 12, 13 years old, I came out as lesbian. I was born in the 80s, okay? This was a time that you didn't walk around like it was nobody's business talking about you was like this, you was like that, just doing what you want to do or how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You still respected your elders, and when, you got to that age or whatever, when you felt like you were comfortable enough to tell somebody else or something like that, you did so, okay? This was back in a time where different type of language was used for people who were gay, okay? Now, I'm not being disrespectful, and I don't want to trigger anybody here, okay? So, back when I was coming up, what we knew of lesbians was called butch or bulldaggers, okay? And these were usually the more manly looking women, and they were Caucasian, and 9 times out of 10 they were bike riders, Harley Davidson type of chick, bike riders and things like that. That's what we knew of lesbian at first, okay? Now, when we heard of gay, they didn't say gay back then. When we heard, every once in a while you might hear that, okay? But derogatory statements that people don't like, especially those who are gay, punk, okay, or agate, you know what I'm trying to say, okay, were used to describe the feminine gay men, okay? Now, this was back in a time, but times end up changing up, okay? Because at some point in time, like back then, you didn't see hardcore basketball playing kind of manly man thugged out looking dudes who were out as gay back in the 80s and 90s and different things. Times have changed now, okay? So anyway, I say all this to say I came out when I was like 12, 13 years old, okay? But I can honestly sit here and tell you that when I was like 6 years old, I fully had an understanding. I was attracted to women. And I'm not talking about in a playful way. I knew in my mind, and I'm not talking about other girls my age. I was attracted to full grown, developed women and had it in my mind I wanted to have sex with these women. Now, at 6 years old, this shouldn't even be on your mind. Okay, I'm not telling you this because for some type of bragging rights or to tell you that this is okay or this is ideal. I'm giving you an example of how things happen at 6 years old. Okay, to feel like this, to think like this, for this to be in your mind, it had to have been implanted there. You have had to either seen this, been exposed to this, been told about this, been shown this, been groomed in a certain way, okay, been molested, touched on, or experienced this in a certain way, okay. So I know that there were certain things sexually that was done to me to cause this to be in me at that age. I couldn't remember at that time, but I do now. Okay? By the time I was 7, 8 years old, I was masturbating. I understood what it was, the sensation was like to make yourself feel good down there or in certain areas of your body. Again, at that age, this shouldn't even be on your mind. You are barely even understanding whether you are a girl or a boy at that age. You understand me? You not long even started school, around that age. Well, around that age, you've been in school for about, maybe 2-3 years, something like that. But still, young enough to the point where you technically still playing with dolls and toys and watching cartoons and all this other kind of stuff. That shouldn't be on your mind. And if it is on your mind, it's there for a reason. And this is something that most people look over and they have excused this by saying, oh, I was born this way. No, you wasn't. It was implanted in you. So I said all that to say, not to trigger anybody or, take somebody back down a painful, memory lane or something like that or whatever. I said all that to say that this is goes hand in hand with one experiencing incest, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, okay? And this has been a dirty little family secret that has been covered up for some time, okay? There are certain people, some people are turned out on purpose. Okay, whether you know it or not, some people get turned out on purpose to forcibly make them a certain type of way. Okay, other people, things are done to them on purpose just to cause them pain, just to cause them hurt, just to use or abuse them in a certain type of way. Okay, but I said all of this to say that more often than not, this is learned behavior, okay? Because if you think about it, I'm not telling you there are no people in the world, okay, who are homosexual and, feel like they're just like that because they just want to be like that, okay? If that were the case, you wouldn't really have a good understanding of that till you are a little bit older and you thinking for yourself, you on an age where you understand, this and that and right from wrong, what you like, what you dislike, or whatever, you understand what I'm saying, to say, you know what, I'm interested in this, I like that. You have people out here who are like that, but when you are, say, 5-6 years old, 7-8 years old, technically, if this is not something you have seen, been taught, been told, been shown, or whatever, shouldn't be on your mind. And even for those individuals who say wasn't fondled, wasn't molested, wasn't sexually abused or raped or anything like that, you were still exposed to it. Somebody may have shown you, may have seen a dirty magazine with two women or two men. Somebody may have exposed you to, you seen flicks. Somebody showed you pornographic things. And this stuck in your head, okay? And at some point in time, you got the idea, you was curious about, oh, I want to try this. Oh, that looks fun. I like this, okay? So it happens with different people in different ways. What we're specifically talking about in this reading is incest, okay? And predominantly those of them who partake in incest willingly, okay? Now, pertaining to this topic specifically, for far too long, it has been unfairly assumed that incest only happens in white folks' homes, okay? But the fact of the matter is, this disgusting little fetish occurs all over the world in many different homes, no matter what race you are. Okay? That's number one. People need to understand that incest is happening in homes everywhere of all different type of races. If you hear incest, you like, that ain't a black folk thing. Black folks don't do that. That's what they have brainwashed you to believe, honey. It's a dirty little family secret that's been hush hush. You either, something was done to make you forget about it, okay? And or something, okay? But that's what they want you to think. This goes on in all families of all races, okay? This is not a one particular race problem, okay? And so this is what we are discussing on tonight. This is what this reading is about on tonight. I also want to break down something else, which I'm going to go into another reading. I often hear people making wrong terms for certain things, okay? Now, whether you are the person who thinks that incest is right, wrong, or indifferent, which most people, I think, most people would be like, ugh, incest, sleep with somebody in my family, what? We're trying to be like that or whatever. Okay, but for other people, like I said, this incest happen in many different ways. There's a large number of people where this happen is like almost is practice. They're groomed to do this kind of thing, to be a part of this type of thing. It's something that's in the family and carried on, tradition type of thing. For other people, they may have been, like I said, molested, forced, raped, fondled, groomed in a certain type of way, or exposed to things or whatever. But let me break down something, because people love throwing out a whole lot of terms, and people need to get them a Webster's dictionary and look up some definitions or get some clarifications on something, okay? Now, many people have experienced molestation and rape in their homes, okay? And many people have partook in certain sexual things, or certain sexual things have happened at young ages, at early ages, whether they were willing participants or this is something that was forced upon them, okay? Number one, rape at any age is when someone else forces themselves upon someone else sexually, forcibly taking this person, okay, penetrating them in any type of way, okay, forcible rape, okay, that is what rape is. Pedophilia is a person who is attracted to or have been sexually involved with or molested a child who is very young. We're talking about children from their infancy to elementary, okay? Now, whether you like it or not, I hear people throwing pedophilia everywhere and don't know what the fucking term is, okay? If a teenager is having sex on their own, even if somebody made a deal, some type of deal about it, on the docket in the court of law, it would not be called pedophilia. It would be called statutory. Okay? Not pedophilia. Pedophilia is specifically persons who are attracted to and have acted upon that attraction and had sexual intercourse with babies. People who are attracted to babies, children who are like elementary and younger. We're talking about 5th grade on down. Children. You understand? That was what will fall in the line of pedophilia. Okay? In certain situations, and like I said, it depends on whether things are forced, whether things, and because you have people. Look, let me tell you something. I know somebody who gave birth. Well, for instance, my supposed mother gave birth, supposedly, allegedly, at 16 years old. This means she had to be fucking and pregnant at 15. And it had to be on her mind at 14. Okay? And who's to say that that was her first time having sex and getting pregnant? I know someone who had a baby at 12. We're talking about people having sex on their own. Okay? Had a baby at 12. That means they had to have been fucking and pregnant at 11. You're pregnant for 9 months, remember? Okay? Which means at 10, this had to be on their mind willingly for them to act upon. Okay? When this person, that they had sex with somebody who was older, okay, who was like, I think probably 18 or something at the time, older than them. When this went to court, it wasn't called rape. It wasn't called pedophilia. It was called statutory. And they put like rape on statutory, but rape really shouldn't be on there because it's not forcible when people are consenting. Okay, even though there's a big age in the age gap. Okay, but how fucked up the system is. This person went to jail, did their time, but when they got out of jail, guess what? They was expected to pay child support, and they was expected to take care of that child. Why? Because it was their child. At that point, it didn't matter how old the hell they was. You understand what I'm saying? You see how fucked up the system is. You make a... Never mind. Okay? But people love throwing a lot of terms around. Okay? There are people who have been molested by their grandfathers, by their fathers, by their uncles. There's people who have been molested and abused by their cousins. Okay? And what we're specifically talking about, somebody don't want me to get this out, is family members who willingly have sex with each other. But I broke that down to you all because I hear a lot of different people throwing a lot of different terms around who obviously don't clearly know what the definition of shit is. You understand what I'm saying? And certain things that go on with certain different people. But when you're talking in the terms of law, okay, what goes on the docket, what is written, what is a chargeable offense, what is actually put down, what if one is a charge, when one is charged with a crime, it's a specific thing. You understand what I'm saying? There's a Christian school here in Arkansas. This made like mainstream media news like years and years ago. Okay, there was this woman who was a teacher. And she had a willing lesbian relationship with one of her students. Okay? She was a teenager. They ended up, of course, this was a setup. Okay? She was blackmailed and she was set up because they knew well before this that this was going on. Nobody was forced. Nobody was raped or anything. This was something they was doing on their own. That woman ended up getting a charge or whatever. But guess what? It wasn't called pedophilia. Guess what? It wasn't called rape. Y'all remember the teacher who was having the affair. I forget what state this was in. The teacher who was having the affair with her student and she got pregnant by him. And they called themselves being in love. They charged that woman with a crime. But guess what? They didn't call it pedophilia. And they didn't call it rape. Okay, but they were still charged with a crime, but it was called something else. So all I'm saying is people need to know their definitions when you throwing around certain titles and trying to label certain people, certain things, and in certain situations, and don't really know what you're talking about. You're just popping off at the mouth saying some shit. Everything has a definition and everything has a fucking meaning. It's what I'm trying to explain to you all, okay? But a lot of this shit is going on, and it has gone on for many of years, okay? Not that long ago, not many years ago. Do you know how many girls was bred and fed and raised by the time they was married off when they was 12, 13 years old? By the time they was 10, 11, 12 years old, they knew how to cook, clean, sew, take care of babies, iron, everything. Take care of husband, take care of children, and everything. They was married off. And see, it was the ugly daughters. And back then they were fruitful and multiplied. You know what I'm saying? They had a whole lot of children then to help them with the cropping and the farm and the raise of the smaller babies and everything. They had 10 to 15 children in one household back then. You understand what I'm saying? And see, back then it was the ugliest daughters who got married off first. But daddy, who was sweet on the little prettiest daughters, her virginity got held a little bit longer because daddy was already sweet on her. He wanted to make sure that she got with the perfect one who was going to provide for and take care. This how it went on back in the day, baby. Y'all got to know your history. You got to know what you're talking about. And you got to stop playing pretend like this shit ain't been going on for a long damn time. Because many of y'all mamas had babies when they was 12 and 13 and 14 and 15, 16 the fuck years old. You understand what I'm saying? Now they rocking around because they older, feeling they self. You know what I'm saying? Acting like they ain't never been there and done that. You understand what I'm saying? And these are same motherfuckers right here who are sellouts, who are in secret societies, who got all kind of family secrets. They allowed you to be molested. They allowed you to be touched on. They exposed you to sexually explicit shit they self. Allow other people to expose you to sexually explicit shit, turn you out. It was incest going on in the family and everything. Fathers fondling their daughters, having sex with their daughters. Grandfathers messing with their grandsons or their granddaughters, sisters and brothers. Their first sexual experience was with each other, okay, and was going in at it. Several of them in my family, I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm letting y'all know that this go on, okay? See, they love to play pretend. Many people try to walk around like they're righteous and they're upstanding and they're pillars of the community and they say they sanctified and delivered. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But somebody gonna tell the truth in a minute. You understand? Because that's what it is. Okay? This been going on. You got some female cousins that turned you out, tried to pimp you out long time ago, but ain't nobody said nothing. Yeah. Your mama knew you was getting fondled, knew you was being exposed, knew you was getting messed with. Well, you know why? Because she was a young ass fucking mother who was hot and fast in the goddamn ass. And as young as she was and had you, she was still going to school and still call herself bopping. So you got left with anybody and everybody or who would babysit your ass while she still went out and enjoyed her young ass life. Yeah, see, that's how that happened. That's why the first type of trauma and the first type of abuse you usually experience start right at home. Start right at home. And if it don't happen at home, it happened at church. And if it ain't happen at home or church, it happened by the time you get to school, baby. That's how it go. Okay, guys, so you may come from a family, whether you want to tell anybody or not, whether you have ever expressed this to anybody or not, you may come from a family who partook in incest, okay? You may have some cousins who were sister and brother and having sex with one another. Your sister and brother may have been having sex with one another, okay? You have other family members who have had sex with one another, or had same-sex family members who, groomed you or turned you out or exposed certain sexual things to you in certain type of ways, guys. So this is what we're talking about on tonight. This is the channel message, okay? So we're going to get some overall clarifiers for this reading, and we're going to go from there and see what other messages we have, okay? I feel like somebody don't want me to get this message out, y'all. Somebody don't want me to get this somebody don't want me to get this message out, okay? Some individuals could be married within their family as well, okay? These could be kissing cousins, okay? This could be a part of family traditions, or, something like that, okay? These courtships, these relationships have gone on, okay? And people can try to play pretend like these things don't happen, like these things don't go on. People try to stray away from these conversations and talking about these types of things, but these things are real. These things do happen. I have had a family member when I was older, you know what I'm saying, and damn sure knew better, had a cousin that literally came on to me, okay, with, his thing out, wanting to do, okay? So these things happen, okay? These things go on, okay? But I'm picking up the energy. There's a sister and a brother who is having, is in some type of incestuous relationship, or they have been having sex together here, okay? We have official person here, okay? So there could be someone who is married into some type of incestuous family here, and some type of courtship, love relationship here with some type of incestuous family. I feel like these are 3 different situations here, okay? So somebody is a part of a family, and y'all have family members, like kissing cousins that's married with one another, okay? And to the family, okay? And in a part of some type of incestuous relationship, okay? We have the courtship ones here who secretly just have sex with one another. Like they may have been their first, like your sister and brother or something. They may have been each other's first lovers as far as experiencing sex for the first time with each other, and just continue doing it, okay? Like a courtship relationship here. Then you have official persons. You have people who are high up in power, who this may be tradition, this may be a part of their bloodline or their family tradition, what has gone on, for generations, okay, in their bloodline here, okay? We have the family room here, okay? So like I said, this is a hidden secret within the family here. We also have community here. So there are community of people who experience these type of things, who know these type of things go on. This is something that's so taboo, that's so, hush hush, that's on the low, that, like I said, is usually kept a secret. Only those in the know speak of anything or whatever, because overall amongst the community of other people or strangers, this type of thing is frowned upon. But because it's not talked about like that, most people have assumed, oh, this a white folk thing. Oh, them white folk do that type of stuff only. You know what I'm saying? But when in fact this goes on in black families, this goes on in all type of races of families, all types of cultures, of people, and it happens in multiple different ways here, okay? Like I said, situations where you were forced, okay, which means you were molested, you were raped, you were taken advantage of, either so young at an age where you did not understand, what was happening, what was going on, and you was exposed to this, or at an age or whatever age, and you were just forcibly taken advantage of, and then where you was exposed to certain things and you were groomed, okay? And then you have those of them who fall along the line, who willingly have, do this and have a natural attraction to one another, okay? We have lover here, okay? A lot of people don't admit it, but girls are called daddy's babies for a reason, and boys are called mama's babies for a reason, okay? Most girls who have a father in their life, their first true love is their dad. A lot of women won't admit it, but girls who have a loving, close relationship with their dad, they had some type of incestuous factuation with their dad, especially if their dad was touchy-feely with them like that, okay? Most boys have a incestuous infatuation with their mothers, may even go on to have a sexual experience with their mothers, especially single mothers. Single mothers change clothes, use the restroom around their kids like it's nothing, especially their sons, So when your sons are old and they see bare naked breasts, or they see you walking around in your underwear and things like this, they're growing, they're going through, puberty and different things. They feel different things. A lot of boys' first attraction to a woman was their mom. Okay, now you got moms out here who actually groom their sons. These mothers get on my nerves. You ever seen those mothers that treat their sons like they man? You know what I'm saying? Stay up in their sons' business so much, and their affairs and their relationships, want to tell them who they should and shouldn't be with, and all kinds of shit. This is a mother who really wishes she could be in a relationship with her son. She love him that much. You know what I'm saying? And it's on an incestuous level, okay? And you have some mothers who have actually been sexually intimate with their sons. Like, they taught their sons how to do oral sex. Like, I, know people who, have told me their parents showed them how to do oral sex, okay? Or this may be an older boy and his mom have him come in here and suckle on her breast when he's way older, way past the age of breastfeeding and these things go on. It may be uncomfortable for you to talk about, but that's what's coming out in this reading. That was the channel message. This is the message the Spirit gave for me to speak to you about today. This is what we're talking about, whether you like it or not, because it's going on every day. So, like I said, we have the lover here, okay, right next to the marriage card here, okay? So you have some family members who, like, literally fall in love with each other, okay? Like, in my own family, like, I've seen, my I don't want to name specific, family members, okay? But I've seen, like my I've seen like my mother her cousins, whom I knew as her cousins, like slap her on the butt, and they be really flirtatious with each other. So I grew up seeing this. So as when you're young and you see this type of thing, you know what I'm saying? This is what's called grooming and different things. You began to get an understanding. Oh, that must be okay. You know what I'm saying? Until you at the age where you know better. Like, wait a minute. This is, this is a family member. Like for the longest, my mother has a cousin who is a stud. And I told y'all I came out when I was 12, 13 years old. I knew when I was 6, I liked full-grown women and wanted to have sex with them, okay? Because I had been exposed to that and been turned out that way. The only gay female in the family was on my mother's side. She has a gay cousin who is a stud. I had a crush on her for years. Okay, until I was old enough to be like, okay, this is my cousin. You know when something ain't right, it ain't gonna happen. This ain't gonna go there. This person. Then I'm not saying this person did anything to me or anything, but I'm talking about how things can easily creep across people's mind. Okay, um these things happen. So we have gone from lover, we have wedding here, okay? So we already had the marriage card here. The wedding card is sitting right next to courtship. So a lot of these people end up dating, they end up courting. A lot of these people, like I said, this is a tradition within their families. This is something that is set up, that is arranged, especially for people who are very wealthy and high up in power, to keep their money and their power and their control amongst their own kind, their own blood type. Okay, we have fortune here. Okay, so like I was just saying, okay, many people who marry into each other, like, you know, the kissing cousins or whatever, so it might be like first cousins, second cousins, however, you know, they do it in the tradition of their family, because it sits right up under marriage and right next to family room here. We have fortune. So a lot of people do this to keep their bloodline strong, okay? To keep their wealth within their family, okay? And this is how they stay on top. This is how they stay powerful. This is how they stay fortunate. This is how they stay abundant and wealthy, okay? And so this is something that has been going on for quite some time, whether you know it or not, okay? You could have people in your family who have wed, okay, or been together that you did not know were, you know, technically family members. Like I was way older before, like, I knew of my grandmother on my mother's side, of her sisters. I always knew them as her sisters. I still call them, refer to them as them being her sisters. It wasn't until I was well older that I realized only two of them were sisters and the other one was a cousin. Okay, this is something that I wasn't aware of. I wasn't even told, didn't know anything about until I was way older. And I feel like I believe it wasn't until one of them ended up passing away, and I ended up asking somebody, like, why was something worded a certain way on the obituary, and that's when I found out, like, you know, how they were actually related. Like, they were still related, but from when I was raised up and seeing them and knew them, I always knew all of them as sisters. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this is the type of thing. I only said that to say, not because of, you know, something incestuous or anything like that, because of how things can go on in families and you just not be aware. Nobody let you know. You didn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? We have pleasure seekers here. This sits under courtship, and this sits next to family room and in between family room and community, and right under courtship. Okay, so you have those of them who are pleasure seekers. They are very sexual, and you see how friendly they are with each other here. Okay, this is like a group of cousins here. Okay, this is like a group of, you know, this could be sisters and brothers, this could be cousins, this could be, you know, whomever. Okay, and they, you know, mix and mingle together, hang out, chill together, and they end up fooling around, messing around with each other. Okay, whether this is same sex or whether this is opposite sex here, it is going on. It is happening here. Okay, so you have different ones who do this on a different level. Those of them who are actually lovers with one another and love each other. Those of them who do this to keep their wealth and their power amongst their own bloodline. Those of them, and that's the reason why they wed into this. And then you have the pleasure seeker ones who do this strictly for pleasure, for sexual purposes. Okay. There is, many of you have had family members who is attracted to you. Okay, and excuse me, who is attracted to you and who may not have told you or knew how to say anything to you. And then some of you, like I had, may have had family members who, like, you know, came on to you and different things like that or whatever, and you just exposed to different things at, you know, certain ages by certain people. Like I know particular family members who I'm cool with. This person was away, I'm full grown, and this person just called me up one day and told me, you know, me and my sister, you know, doing this. And I don't know if they thought I was going to judge them. I wouldn't love them anymore. I was going to say, oh, you're disgusting. Get off my phone. I hate you, you filthy animal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they thought, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. I never knew that, but I'm a listen, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And I'm like, at the end of the conversation, I'm like, well, you got to work through it. I'm not sure why, what was going on, why that happened, but I still love you. You know what I'm saying? You my family member. I still love you, right from wrong, this and that and the other, or whatever. But this person just called me up after blue, and I don't want to, call no names or putting this, that, and the out about certain people or anything like that. So I'm just going to say that I'm using that as an example for y'all to have an understanding how this happens, okay? Because I'm not, messy and low down and dirty like that. I'm not going to do nobody like that. I'm just letting y'all know that this happens, and it also happens in black families, okay? And this shit happens in various different ways, okay? And this shit plays out in people's lives in various different ways, and this shit is going on every day right up under your nose, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, okay? Okay, Spirit, are there any other messages here? Yeah. Many of you, it could have been part of some type of family secret, inside tradition to turn certain ones out, to forcibly try to make them, say, homosexual or gay or promiscuous or to be a certain way. Those things go on too. See, it's a lot of people who are sellouts in your family and a part of secret societies and all type of cults and different type of things that they were full grown. You think about it, they were full grown. Been in the world a long time before you came to fuck along. And when you were kids, they was just mixing and mingling, knowing people and doing things that you was not aware of. Unless when you grew up, they told you about it. You had no idea. Some of you right now today, I had no idea until I went through awakening. My awakening started when I was 30, y'all. Okay? I didn't realize I was a target until I was 33. When all hell broke loose, y'all. I kid you not. I didn't know a shit about a secret society. I didn't know people was into witchcraft, sorcery, black magic, voodoo like that, especially black folk. I didn't know folks was witches like this out here. I didn't know nothing about no secret society, no Knights and Templars, no Jesuits, no Eastern Stars, no Freemasons. Y'all, I didn't know nothing about this stuff when they never told me. And do you know I got them in my family? They never told me. I never knew until I awakened. And it pisses me off because when I awaken and I notice these things and was aware of things like Illuminati's and this type of society and satanic cults and witches and witch covens and all this other type of shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing it out in the world, and I'm shaking my head like, ain't it a terrible thing? Such a thing like that stuff will be going on, and this shit right in my own family. These people never knew, you know what I'm saying? And it pisses you off because, when it comes to love and loyalty, whether you with something or not, having love and loyalty for something, it'll keep you from stepping on the wrong people's toes, or keep you from being disrespectful in a way. I may not fuck with you, I'm not going to be a part of it or anything like that, but it'll keep me from disrespecting you or your organization or stepping on the wrong toes or anything. You got all type of family secrets, okay? A lot of y'all, like I said, you got witches in your family, you don't know it. You got Satanists in your family, you don't know it, because they run around here faking and phoning like they Christians and they not. You got folks that took oaths and secret societies and worship the devil and sold out to the satanic powers that be here. Many of y'all got parents and family members that's done pimped you out, that's done sold you out to the satanic powers that be, and you done been done all kind of way. You don't have no clue about it. You don't know nothing about it. But this is happening every day. And this is the reason why Spirit had me to bring this message to y'all on tonight. So we're going to get to the tarot. Okay, guys. So our next messages that we have here, and I'm going to tell you something else real quick. Out of both of these decks here, which we have fortune come out of here, so we know some families do this for money and different things like that. The ironic thing is, obviously, it's done in a lot of families for money, because not only do you have fortune here, but you have sudden wealth and money here, okay? I don't know if people are doing this for money or like, I understand the families who want to keep their fortune or their wealth or their power within their own bloodline. But I feel like this sudden wealth here and this money here, some people's family have that are sellouts have been paid by either these people they're in secret societies with, or people are in power that they're linked up with. They have been paid to turn their kids out, or to groom their children, or expose them to sexual explicit things, or to turn them out in some type of way, or even to be a part of some type of incestuous type thing. Seems like there are people, families, parents, grandparents who were paid to allow some type of experimental sexual something go on within families. Okay, it's weird, but I see that here. Like, for so much money to be around this topic, you got fortune here, you got sudden wealth here, you got money here. Like, there is some other goings on behind the scenes. Okay, like, seriously, I feel like it's a part of a bigger setup. Like, it's a part of a bigger master plan of everything that is going down. Okay, something of which, again, that we wasn't told anything about. Okay, that many of us may not know anything about. And like I said, if you think about it, you know what I'm saying, when in the terms of say your elders, okay, whether your parents or your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, these people are practically grown. They are grown. You know what I'm saying? By the time you come along and you have a mind to where you can understand, like who is who and this, this, that, and the other, or whatever. But even once you're born, between the age of, say, birth and school age, when you really talking and communicating, mama, daddy, sister, brother, grandma, grandpa, some of the main figures of the family members that you see all the time or whatever. So, up until that point, like, there is something hidden among certain families and official people in power, where these families have been paid to experiment in different ways on their children, and they have gotten paid for this. Okay, this goes for rather grooming, molesting, causing human experimentation, mind control, raping, some type of sexual trauma, or exposing to sexual content and different things for them to shape and mold people the way they want to be. I'm telling you, y'all, there is something bigger to this shit. People's parents and grandparents have been getting paid to turn out their children, their grandchildren, allow them to even go around other people who do this for them, who groom them or expose them to sexual things, who turn them out in certain ways. And you given something or something, you don't remember this is deep down in your subconscious, so you continue to grow up, you know what I'm saying, and here you are at 6, and you sexually promiscuous toward someone is same sex, and you don't even quite understand why you even have these feelings at this age. Somebody made that experience, you knowing that, familiar with you, that experience feeling good to you, okay, for you to have that sensation to be like, you want to do this on your own and have it in your mind wholeheartedly, like, for real, that you want to do this. Like, it was so powerful. When I was young, I was a little girl, y'all, and and at one point in time, I literally felt like I could have went up to a grown woman and tried to come on to her, like she would have been with it. I felt it, like, and I feel like it was presented to me that way, like, this is okay, this feels good, don't you like this? You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. And as creepy as that sounds, and as weird as that is, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I've experienced sexual trauma like that, and you have to know that you have had that experience, whether you remember that or not, for you to have those feelings at such an early age, at such a young age. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling y'all, there is something tied in with government and official people in power where they have paid parents and grandparents to experiment on their children, to experiment on their family, to groom them, to molest them, to do satanic ritual abuse on them, to experiment on them, mind control them, to expose them to sexual activities and different things like that, to shape and mold their mind to see how they're going to come out and different things like that. Y'all, is crazy here. Okay, we have the overall energy here of the moon. This talks about secrets. Okay, there's a whole lot of sneaky freaky things that's done in the dark, honey, that's done behind closed doors, things that are being hidden, things that are secret. Okay, and like I was telling you all, like, this almost feels ritualistic for some of these people. Like this is part of some type of ritual. Okay, there has even been instances where these things are happening and others are around enchanting, like something is being cast, some type of spell is being done, or invoking of some type of demons, or conjuring, or some type of sacrifice going on. And I know to somebody it seems far-fetched and out there, and it's like, oh, Tiffany, you went far to the left with this. But I'm telling you, this stuff happens, guys. Okay, because this sits right next to the boss lady. Okay, this is a CEO. This is a business owner. Okay, somebody who's a first lady, who's a company president, who's the head lady in charge here. Okay, someone who's the head of the household, who's bossy, who's sassy, who's classy, someone who is capable of being a breadwinner solely on their own here. Okay, you have women, powerful women, who are into this, and who have even allowed this among their own children and been paid to allow this to happen. Or spirit is saying that there's a lot of powerful women and or boss lady type of women who have experienced this. Okay, who are for fortune, for money, have married into interbreeded with family and different things here. Now the crazy thing about this is after that I had two different lovers cards that come out here. Okay, now this lovers card here, of course, it talks about passion, it talks about romance, it talks about true unconditional love here, but it talks about, at the bottom I have coming together as one here. Okay, so this is any type of lover's relationship that I have on this card. Now on this lover's card, this is a specific lover's card that I have for the LGBTQIA community. Okay, a special bond I have here, relationship, divine connection, lesbians. Okay, sexual encounters. Okay, girls nights out. Okay, things that's done in the dark. Okay, things that are sensual, love, love making, different things like that. Okay, I feel like this is something that is introduced, like something that is okay, like something that is sensual. Like this is how one is groomed, and it has been pushed on to others in the family. Okay, and I feel like this is done at a very early age, that once you get to a certain age, that some of these people on their own, they actively participate in incestuous relationships solely on their own, by themselves, with each other. Whether they're marrying into family, like kissing cousins, okay? Whether, it's a courtship between a brother and a sister, okay? Whether this is just strictly for sexual, pleasure seekers, sexual, pleasures of different kinds amongst family and different things, okay? But we have surprise here, okay? So there's some type of shock or surprise to this situation, which has always been seen as such amongst others in the world here. And so it's such a taboo subject that, most people, like I said, pretty much assume, oh, this only happens amongst a certain type of race of people or a certain kind of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a goddamn lie, y'all. There's other things that have been going on right up under our nose for a very long time, okay? And whether we could understand it or explain it or not, did not keep it the fuck from happening, okay? There's a lot of manipulation and control, mind control, and different things, tactics that has been used, okay, to manifest these things and manifest these changes that we see in the world today. Okay, we have the magician card here. Okay, I'm telling you, there is some type of magic that is going on, that is being done to cause these things to happen, to cause these things to be seen as acceptable or okay. I'm telling you, you've got people, and this falls right up under family room here, okay? You've got people in your family who are witches and a part of secret societies and covens and all kinds of things, and you may or may not know this, okay? But, you know, usually amongst these groups, there's some type of sex group or sex ring aspect to it too, where threesomes and orgies and different things like this go on. I feel like this is something that is manifested, okay? This is something that is conjured up. This is something that is being done on purpose. It's something that has been exposed amongst families on purpose, and many individuals, family members, I feel have been paid to even participate in such a thing, but it has been kept hush for a really long time here, guys, okay? Yeah, we got the Four of Wands here. This is family, okay? This is family marrying with family, or family intermingling with each other sexually here, because that's what we're talking about. Incest here, okay? I was strongly picking up on a brother and a sister who was having sexual intercourse in a family, like right now, whether they do so casually. I feel like they are adults. I feel like they have their own personal relationships, but when they're alone and by themselves and together, I feel like they have sexual relations with each other. They're very sexual and intimate with one another here, okay? We have the Three of Cups, okay? This is third party situations here, okay? So some of these individuals, like I was just explaining to you, okay, this looks a lot like the pleasure seekers here, okay? You got a group of individuals coming together. So this is not about two people, involved in sex. This is a group of people who's a part of this, okay? You might have a brother or sister doing it. You may have a father having sex with his daughter, or a mother having sex with her son, or, a grandparent, or, however it goes, or, an uncle, or, however it goes, or whatever. But as some aspect, like these, I feel like when I see the Three of Cups and pleasure seekers together, I'm telling you, and especially with the Magician card here, is something that has been done ritualistically, and it still goes on ritualistically behind the scenes, or, either in the family or when they are in their certain domains where they do their rituals and their chanting, and where the secret societies meet and different things. This is well known and goes on, okay? And it's like a part of what they are into. But it's been something that has been hidden here, okay? So like I said, you have those of them who are a part of this, okay, and they may be one-on-one, okay, but you have others of you who have been exposed to sexually explicit things. You have been groomed, you have been turned out. Say you were a female and you have a group of cousins who turned you out sexually, okay? Say you are a male and your father or your uncle started fondling you and molesting you, okay, and you and your brothers together or something like that, whatever, okay? There's group aspect to something about this and what is happening and what is going on, y'all, okay? Yeah. We have the Ace of Wands here, okay? So this is very passionate fast-paced, moving forward energy here. Okay, it speaks to growth and movement forward here. Okay, that sits right up under courtship, pleasure seekers, the Lovers card. Okay, and everything. So some aspect of this that is tied into um other shit that they're tied in with, say, government officials and different things like that. This gave them some type of leverage or leg up or growth or movement forward in some type of way here. And it's really weird, guys. Okay, but I feel like this is done on multiple different levels. We have the Four of Cups here. Okay, so this is definitely something, that gets offered, like that happens. This sits under official person surprise, LGBT community here. Well, with the Lovers card here, this is still a Lovers card here. Okay, but this is for those of you who have been, say, was turned out by family members of the same sex that just introduced you to sex, and y'all were very playful and friendly, like, with each other and things like that or whatever. um but sitting here with the Four of Wands and the Four of Cups here, there is definitely another dynamic here, because it's almost like a tangling, an intertwining, because this sits right up under community or whatever. But this is something that is definitely secret. Okay, something that has definitely been hidden. Okay, something that has been, that one of those family secrets don't tell type of things. Okay, it's never been on the surface, like, uh, um, put on display and presented to the world like this is ideal, this is okay. Okay, or anything like that. But this is definitely something that has been hidden, something that has been secret. Okay, and this has been going on in families for a very long time, guys. Okay, and like I said, in various different ways here. Okay, but I was really picking up, I was picking up on the energy when I got this message. I was picking up specifically on a brother and a sister who was having sex with one another. Okay, and possibly a mother or other family members knowing about it and covering it up or whatever. Okay, maybe even you being the person that they try to keeping this from or whatever. But you have found out in some type of way, but this is going on about these third party situations that is happening, that is secret here, because of some type of witch coven or satanic cult or something that they are part of here. Okay, and it goes different ways. If you didn't experience such a thing in your family, you could have been in relationships with people who have experienced this in their family. They may not have told you this, that this has happened to them, or they express to them or to you that, whether this happened on a casual level or this happened on where somebody was taking advantage of them and abusing them and fondling I can't even say the word, fondling them. Okay, or something like that. I definitely feel that energy too. Okay, some of you have been in relationships with people who have experienced these things like this. Okay, sometimes subjects like this, especially, some people, like I said, if they partook in things like this on their own, okay, they would probably be embarrassed to tell you or to even talk about it or to bring it up and wouldn't want anybody to know. Okay, now but it's the same kind of energy if they say was taken advantage of and they was abused and they was molested and they was raped and somebody hurt them and forced themselves onto them. You know what I'm saying? When they was a child. Okay, some type of child sex predator or whatever. Okay, now that would be considered not only a child, that would be considered a child rapist, which would fall under the lines pedophilia, especially the younger they are. Okay, especially if somebody is forcing themselves upon you. Okay, but you have a large group of individuals who is intermingled and intertangled in this willingly, okay, on various different levels, guys. Okay, Spirit, let me get one more message here. Yeah, we have the Five of Wands here. Okay, so the Five of Wands sit right up under the Four of Wands. This is quite interesting here, okay? Because the Five of Wands talks about competition, okay? Individuals competing with one another. And as you can see, this is a group of individuals, and it sits right up under the Four of Wands. I feel like this is family members who's jealous of you, who's envious of you, or, jealous of each other and envious of each other, competing with one another. You know what I'm saying? And with this coming out in this reading, these are family members who have been sexually intimate with one another, okay? And they get jealous and in competition with one another, craving for each other's attention, and get to competing with one another, who's better, who looked the best, and from the outside looking in, people like, oh, look at this crazy family with their family brawls, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. But behind closed doors, you don't even understand that, you might be looking at some people that's got a whole incestuous ass relationship going on or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see a sister and a brother arguing like they're lovers or some shit, from the outside looking in, if you know these people, you cool with this sister and this brother from this other family, you like, man, they stay into it all the time. You had no idea that they involved with each other sexually. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, say, the sister, say the brother got him a new girlfriend or decide to get married, and then the sister is constantly arguing with, say, the brother's new girlfriend or new wife, okay, or don't particularly like her, or they get into arguments back and forth here. They had an incestuous relationship with one another, and there's jealousy and competition there, okay? That's the reason why this is coming out, okay? And this is happening amongst cousins, sisters, and brothers, however this family dynamic go. And like I said, it's a lot of these overbearing as mothers out here. They got full grown ass sons who can make their own decisions, use their own mind, love who the hell they want to love, and they want to control every aspect of their son's life like they are their son's lovers. You know what I'm saying? And it's completely fucking ridiculous. And it's like, are you in love with your mother? Are you in love? You want to be in love with somebody else, okay? You know what I'm saying? And, especially the guys who was mama's babies and, they still hanging off mama's titties and he needs mommy's approval for every damn thing. And you see it more often than not, in wealthy families, okay? Because of course they want their bloodline, their specialized children only breeding with certain people of high standards. You got to have a certain IQ and have a certain parents and a certain ethnicity with a certain background, with a certain education level and X, Y, and Z amount of degrees. And are you a part of the brotherhood? And do you belong to the country club? And do you play golf? And all type of stupid shit with them. You know what I'm saying? For them, for you to be approving onto their family. You know what I'm saying? And you come in the family, they allow you, invite you to dinner, meet you for a little while, and y'all gone on to decide to be together. They still gonna make your ass sign a prenup. Love goes out the window. Because especially with a family that's of money, they're like, my son probably didn't bring this up to you, but here come this overbearing ass mother throwing a prenup in your face. You need to, we need you to sign this for legal protection of the family. Like, what are you talking about? Like, but this type of shit is going on every day. You know what I'm saying? But even in the hood, okay, it's a lot of mothers out here call on their sons every day. Send their sons to the store for their tampons, for their pads, for their douche. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see a man doing this for his girlfriend. That's a really sweet guy. He really loves you. If you know what I'm saying, he would go care about you while you on your cycle, you're crapping and different things like that. But when your mama is calling you every day, she calling you for money. She wants you to go buy this, go get a that. She ain't never got nothing to put in on nothing. She just expects you to take care of her like you her damn man, and her man could be sitting at home with her. It's like, what the hell is he doing for you? You know what I'm saying? And so this make you feel like, no, you know what? It's something else going on. It's something else going on here. Okay, yeah. There's something else going on here. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups here. This talks about major shifts, major changes. Okay, this talks about the High Priestess here. Well, we have the High Priestess here as well, which talks about secret knowledge, secret information, occultic knowledge here, with the Page of Swords, which talks about gossip, rumors, you know, of things like this going around here, sitting with the Page of Wands. So this is even talking about, you know, a messenger in different things like this or whatever. And it's interesting that you have the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands here, because this is young energy here. You got the Eight of Cups, the High Priestess, the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, with the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups talks about a wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups talks about hopes, wishes, and dreams coming true. So, who wanted this change to come about with this sneaky, freaky, creepy, occultic, secretive things going on with two young people of the same sex or opposite sex coming together, and this was a wish fulfillment for them? Because that's what these cards tell you. That's what these cards tell you. Or you can look at it in another way. Like I said, if you don't want to look at the Page of Swords like a person, or the Page of Wands like a person, the Page of Swords, looking at it like an energy, talks about gossip, rumors, okay? The Page of Wands as an energy talks about a messenger, okay? But you still got the Nine of Cups right here, okay? Which talks about hopes, wishes, and dreams coming true, okay? And, you know, you got two nines sitting here. The Nine of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles. People are doing this in their family. I'm telling you, that's why all this money is here. Families are getting paid to expose this to their young, to their children, in their family, experiment them on them, introducing them to this, and they're being paid for it. And this is a hope, wish, or dream come true for these satanic powers that be, for the occult, for these elites that sit back and watch this shit go on, or even pimping out their young to them, to allow them to be groomed and exposed to these things. And once they are sexualized and exposed to these things, they send them back home, and they intertwine and do these things with each other within the family. It's a part of the experimentation. Y'all gonna learn today. Yeah, and see, that's what this change was all about, that they brung about. This is all a part of their experimentation here. This is what's been secret, what's been hidden. That's what they're chanting in them sacrifices, them rituals and curses and spells, and all the things that's being hidden, all the sneaky, freaky things going on behind the scenes in the darkness that's been going on. And that's the reason why this whole reading is surrounded by money, sudden wealth, money, fortune. With the topic that we talking about? Come on, man. This done been staged this way. This done been set up this way. I'm trying to tell you what to say. I'm showing you the messages. I ain't got no reason to make it up. Yeah, we got here the Two of Cups. This talks about love, partnership, relationships here. Okay? Amongst loved ones. Amongst family, okay? Your family allowing you, and I be damned. We got the Lovers. You got the Two of Cups. This card, what they say? Love. And then turned around and the Lovers popped out here. You understand? Look what's at the bottom of the deck, y'all. Y'all gonna stop playing. Y'all want truth and clarity. You said you wanted truth and clarity. Okay? I'm a reader that's not going to sugarcoat shit for you. I'm not one of these other readers that's going to blow smoke up your ass and talk to you about the same shit every day. Your money, your finances, your relationship, divine masculine, twin flame bullshit. Same shit all day, every day. The same regurgitated ass messages. Or the same sold out readers that's being fed information and told to say certain shit. I'm come bring you the truth. Clarity. That's what y'all want. But see, some of y'all don't want to talk about no real topics. Spirit say this the truth. This is clarity. Whether you like it or not, baby. I just ran you down secret knowledge. Secret information. Yeah. See, this is the T. And I am T. My name is Tiffany, because I am the truth. You understand? Manifestation of God. Okay? Yeah. 6 of Wands here. Victory, triumph, success, public recognition. See, a lot of these relationships, partnerships, love relationships, it has come to the surface where it is public recognition that these incestuous family things are going on, okay? People are aware of these third-party situations and different things that is going on. But what most people, even people who may have an ideal about this may say, oh, wow, that's just some type of sneaky, freaky-ass, creepy family there. They into this, that, or the other. Can you believe that? And not thinking outside the box. Why is this going on? Why is this happening? Why is it a trend? Why? See, as long as you have been alive, everything they have wanted you to know, they have wanted you to believe, that they have wanted you to indulge in or to like or to pique your interest, they have told you about it. They have shown you. They have put it in your entertainment. They have put it in, in your new. They have put it in your movie. They put it everywhere. You understand? But see, certain things still dwell within though that secret knowledge realm, and nobody. Not even people that halfway know a little something about this have ever asked the question, why? How come this is happening? How come I can sit here and tell you when I was 6, I was attracted to full-grown women? Okay? And you need to understand something, because in the 80s, baby, in the 90s, the farther back you go, they didn't allow black women, brown-skinned women, whether they were African American, Latina, Mexican, Brazilian, Jamaican, or anything like that, any woman of color, Native American, anything, Hawaiian, anything, any woman with color to her skin, Haitian, they didn't allow them women to be on TV glamorous and beautiful. The women that we seen on TV were Caucasian, big-breasted women, were the ones that they allowed to be glamorous and beautiful. I remember when the blonde hair and blue eyes has always been popularized, because it's something that the powers that be still use as one of their main ritualistic practices. But I remember when it went from the blonde heads to the brunettes to the redheads. cats. But these was all white women. And these was the onlyest women that they allowed to be beautiful on TV and different things back then. See, this is the reason why by the time Cosby Show and A Different World and 227 and all these other shows, you know what I'm saying, that came along, they showed, shows that seemed like they showed decent black folk with decent black family. We was at all with seeing this because this was never displayed on TV. See, I'm not saying that there was no black actors then, but they either had them playing gangsters or criminals or thugs. They had the women playing prostitutes or maids or servants or slaves. They wouldn't allow them to be beautiful. And every once in a while, you still see that to this day. If there's a major film that is coming out and the leading actress on that film is a white woman, she is glamorous and she is beautiful. And the black woman that's on that film with her, just as good of an actress, just as a A-list of a celebrity, as the one that they done made the main star, they downplay her a little bit. And she don't get to be as glamorous and as beautiful as the lead star in the film. This been going on for a long time, y'all. But see, that's a different subject for a different day. I just wanted to break it down to you. See, you know what I'm saying? So what I was talking about is what you cannot do. Okay? You cannot tell me. You can't get a psychologist, a counselor, a therapist, a pastor, nobody on no level with any qualifications or any degrees or anyone that you presume to be knowledgeable, educated, can tell you why a young child would be sexually promiscuous all by themselves, all on their own, that early. We're talking about as before you even hit puberty. A time before you hit puberty. You understand what I'm saying? And this is going on in a lot of families. And this is when a lot of people are exposed to these things. Now, whether or not they continue to do these things once they get older, which we can clearly see that a lot of them do. But the fact of the matter is, whether you remember or not, you were exposed. You were shown this. You were taught this. You were told this. You was exposed to this. You was turned out either by your own people or your family was paid to allow you to be turned out and groomed by their people. Spirits say, this is the truth. Spirits say, it's for wealth. It's for money. I ain't got no reason to make it up. That's what spirits say. That's what spirits say. I'm giving y'all hidden knowledge, secret information. I ain't got no reason to make it up. Look at the folk. Look, stop playing, spirit. I'm about to go. I'm about to be through. Why the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Cups pop out together? Don't the 4 of Wands talk about family and marriage? Don't the 10 of Cups talk about family? What? Don't you see that big ass rainbow here? Don't you see these two women? You see how she's gripping her crotch area down here? And she's got her arms wrapped around her right here. And they kissing. But look, let me ask you something. Do you see something? You see the little boy right here that's half naked? That's watching them fill up on each other, kiss on each other, same sex, exposing this baby to this. See, this how it started. Didn't I just tell you this? This the family though. This your family though. And you see the rainbow flag. This why many of you have many of you I was born this way. I was born this way. That's fine, baby. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. However you ever want to look at your life, baby, whether you remember or not, you was exposed to this first. And either it was done in a soft and sensual, sexual way, or either it was forced and it was abused and it was aggressive type of way. But you was exposed to this. Somebody showed you pornography. Somebody showed you a dirty magazine. Somebody was doing this in front of you. Somebody told you about this, taught you about this. In the family. And your family have even exposed you to other people. Look at these other people back here. Your family has exposed you to other people doing things with you, to you, and around you. Baby. That's what you call completion. It's the family. This the family. It don't get no more clear than that. You can't even make it up. Spirit say this the truth. Goddamn calm here. Okay? This is what's going on, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. And check this out. Many of you took that leap of faith. You see how when he old enough, he's older now. He can think for himself now. He's using his own mind. But it's already been programmed in you. It's already been trained in you. This the fool here. Now you ready to take a leap of faith and do some things on your own. What kind of things? The things that you was exposed to here. This say indulgence on this card with the Eight of Cups. Now the Eight of Cups talks about change. But see, these things that you seen, these things that you was exposed to, these things that you was a part of in your childhood, this was done on purpose to bring about a change. Like the change that you see in the world on today. What did the card right here say? Filmmaker. How many of you know that films was made of you being turned out, molested, groomed when you were kids? For sudden wealth. For money. For fortune. Ten of Pentacles over here for wealth. Money just keep on coming out. Yeah. This was the decision that was made. People that had clear vision on this and made a decision to do this. Okay? Y'all, I think this concludes this message, guys. I think this concludes this message. I'm going to see if there's anything else. So, like I said, this message, okay, is about family having sex with each other, incest, a dirty little secret, a dirty little family secret covered up. Sisters and brothers, fathers and daughters, aunts and nephews, uncles and nieces, mothers and sons, cousins and cousins, same-sex matchups, grandfathers and grandchildren. For far too long, it has been unfairly assumed that incest only happens in white folks' homes. But the fact of the matter is, this disgusting little fetish occurs all over the world. and many different homes, no matter what race you are. Okay, guys. I do thank you all for listening and for watching. If you would be so kind to like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Yeah, we have rape here. Many of you have experienced rape. The reason why you have experienced this, okay? It was no fun matter, okay? For you. You was abused. You was used. You was hurt. And that's absolutely unacceptable, period, point blank, for anybody to take you against your will. I'm not making light or making fun of that, but it doesn't change the fact that these things have been going on amongst these sellouts and these secret society members, and they have been paid to intermingle, intertwine, introduce these things into individual families. And they were paid incentives to do so, whether you were forcibly taken or whether it was set up like role playing. Okay? Everybody know. You remember when you used to play house? Don't try to act like you don't know. When the first time you played house and who you play house with? Your family members. Okay? Stop lying. Okay? Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to nobody else. You know good and damn hell well that the first time you play house, play dress up, sitting up playing like you grown, you was playing with your family members, your cousins or your siblings, somebody. We got sexual healing here. You got those of them who is doing this due to sex magic, passion, pleasure, okay, for various different reasons, but they're doing it on a level because they want to, okay? And there's a fine line between those who are being raped, being molested, being abused, taken advantage of, and those of them who are getting sexual healing in their own gratification and pleasure from it because that's what the hell they like to do, okay? Yeah, and we're talking about real close family members that, you know, they tell each other, oh, you my lover, my homie, and my friend. Real close family members like that or whatever. They the very ones that's got them little, you know, when they were young, they used to hunch. You know. Even now today, if they have a little girls night out or something like that, they all grinding and humping and bumping and twerking and touchy feely all out on the dance floor together. You see it all the time. Most guys, when they hang out with other guys that they call they bros or they call they fam, how they be dressed? Especially if they in a casual setting, just chilling. They sitting in there either watching a flick together, playing the video game together, and them niggas ain't got on no shirt, no pants, they ain't nothing but boxers. Bunch of men sitting around watching a flick or playing a video game. This happens all the time. That's learned behavior. You understand what I'm saying? That stems from somewhere. We have temptations here. People being tempted, people having temptations for one another and different things like that here. Okay, Spirit, are there any other messages? Okay, some people have some obsession with one another, with their siblings or with their family members that they're intimately involved with, okay? And this, no coincidence, falls up under sexual healing here, okay? These are the ones who end up like really being in love with each other, like they want to be together for real, you know. It's not just a sexual thing, like it's on a whole nother level type of thing, you know, like it's really crazy, okay? Yeah. And of course, you got the witches. You always gonna have the witches amongst the mix. There's a witch on a stick that needs some dick. So there's some witch in your family that's fondling dicks, okay, of other family members, okay, turning them out, getting them, you know, however the fuck they do. This is going on in families everywhere. You got those of them who tricksters, you know, different things. You might have even aunts and uncles, who have had sex with one another, or things like that, or whatever. You'd be surprised what kind of things go on. And I'm going to tell you something else too that happens. You got two sides of your family. You have your mother's side of your family, and you have your daddy's side of the family. Sometimes family relations goes on like that as well, because they think, oh, well, we ain't blood related, you know what I'm saying, but it's y'all still family. You know what I'm saying, in a certain type of way. So say uh if you got a cousin that having sex with your daddy's brother or something, you know what I'm saying, like that. There is inter-family shit that switching that goes on like that too. Okay? Yeah. Some of them are a little sick with it here. We got to love without limits here, okay? They on a whole nother level with it, okay? That's for the ones who willingly about that life, willingly doing, these types of things. Okay? Yeah, we have threesomes and orgy parties here, okay? That's the reason why we've seen the pleasure seekers and we've seen the Three of Cups come out. Many of them get together, get to drinking a little bit, smoking a little bit. They get messed up. And, all kind of things get to going down. You know what I'm saying? What's done in the dark type of things, okay? Okay, guys. Spirit, are there any other messages before I wrap this reading up for the night, guys? Okay? Those of them, Spirit is saying, who have been groomed, who were raped, and this is forced upon them because of their family, because of family tradition or bloodline or wealth thing, they're in a very unhappy commitment. They are not happy in those relationships. They are forcibly made to do that by their families here. Some of them are, but Spirit is saying it's a lot of them that are not. And they suffer in silence because it's not like they can come out and tell anybody how they feel or anything like that. Okay? This is a lot of the reason why many of our many people are gay for pay. Many brothers are out here gay for pay. Now, secretly or whatever, because they have been exposed to this type of lifestyle, this type of behavior within the family. Many of these incestuous marriages, that you think are fraudulent marriages here, okay? As well. Okay? Okay, guys, I think that is all the, and some of them experience this stuff and they end up being gay for pay, or straight out being gay or lesbian. Some people experience this growing up, and they end up being into cross-dressing, dressing up or cross-dressing, into different things, different sexual fetishes, sexually, and different things like that. Spirit is saying, guys, okay? Okay, and some of them that do this, I feel like this fall along the line of those who get sexual healing from this, who have obsession with this, who really enjoy this. This be like good love making for them or some shit, whatever. But that's what came out, okay? Everybody, everybody's not going to have the same feelings, the same emotions, pertaining to this like this. And that's the reason why, guys, I wasn't being funny, I wasn't being belligerent or ignorant about anything with the beginning and how I started off. That's the reason why I broke down what different things mean, whether you talking about molestation, whether you talking about rape, whether you talking about child sex abuse, or whether you talk, this is the reason why I broke down different things before we got to breaking down. I broke this even down. Okay, you got those of them who marry into this. This is a part of their bloodline, something that is forced upon them in their family because of their wealth and their power. Okay, you have those of them who have more of a courtship relationship with it. The ones who who have real love for each other, really desire to be each other, this sexual healing, this obsession, this love, part of thing. You have those of them who are official persons that this is something that has been, amongst the secret society, a little hush secret that has been going on in families for some time. And then you have the pleasure seekers. You have those of them who get down like this and do this just for fun. Threesomes and orgies, partying, kicking it, hanging out, having a little fun and things like this. And you got those of them who have been forced, who have been abused. This is the reason why I broke down every little thing as we went along, not to make anybody feel any type of way, not to call out any specific persons, not to, trigger anybody, make anybody feel bad. So I don't want anybody to take this message, run with it, and, I'm not in agreements with any of these things, you know what I'm saying? But the Spirit wanted me to bring this conversation onto YouTube to talk to people about. This was the message for today because for people to get a better understanding where they come from, things that have been hidden from you, secret from you, lied to you about, things that have gone on right up under your nose, why certain things happen, why you had certain feelings that you had, what went on in your life, whether you remember those things or not, how things transpired and all this, different things. Okay, this is the reason why I broke down these things in a multitude of different ways here. Okay, guys. But it was not to be disrespectful unto anyone of any walk of life. Okay. Especially for those of you who are gay, who are lesbian, who are transgender or whatever, even the things that I pointed out about those things, that was no slick shot at you, wisecrack at you to downplay your life. You got the right to live your life the way you want to live your life, and I don't make it my business telling people what to do and what not to do. Okay, that's not what I'm here for. Okay, that's not what the message was about. Okay, and as you can see myself, you know what I'm saying, this is the reason why I share my own life experiences and stories with you all, and what I have been through and what I have experienced when talking about things, so people, it won't come off like, oh, this chick thinks she all that, she thinks she better than somebody, she just talking down about this one, that one, and the other one. And also, I didn't want to make this a specific race type of things, because certain topics a lot of times get slapped on certain races. You know what I'm saying? You say certain things, just like if you say terrorism right now, predominantly one main race of people will come to your mind. You know what I'm saying? Terrorism can be of any race, of any persons from anywhere, whether they're foreign or not. You know what I'm saying? But it's certain things that get said, and because that's what you've been taught. That's what you've been told. That's what's been drilled into your head. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if somebody said gang member, thug, criminal, gangster, you would automatically think a black person. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? There was plenty. I mean, people forget about the mobs and the cartels and all the other gangsters that ever existed. What about the gangsters that wear the suits and ties and, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that? That came along well before these street gangs even call themselves doing anything. You know what I'm saying? That these street gangs look the fuck up to. You know what I'm saying? But it's certain things that get said, and you be like, oh, that's a white folks thing. Oh, that's a black folks thing. Oh, yeah, that's them foreign folk over there. And people don't understand that this is a world thing. This stuff has been going on for a long time. A lot of stuff has been hidden in plain sight. A lot of things is secret, hidden information, occulted information, and other things that is going on, especially with how they have introduced things to the world and how people don't understand how manipulation and control, especially mind control, and things have been used to program people's thinking, way of being, interacting, and all kinds of things in various different ways here. Okay, so I even went as far as to break down the race part of this, because I didn't want to do this message and make it seem like, oh, I'm only talking about white folks, I'm only talking about rich folks, I'm only talking about folks in power. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? It's not just amongst them people. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Now, you do have certain folks that may be into it a little bit more than other people, for of course for other specific purposes, but to say that they are solely the only race, that's not truth or factual at all. You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of other races, clearly. Okay, guys? So I hope everybody got a good understanding. I hope this information gave you some type of truth and clarity that you needed pertaining to something that you have experienced in your life, something that you have endured or you know about, or you were experiencing, or maybe even if you haven't experienced anything like this and you are with somebody who have experienced childhood trauma or something like that, this can enable you to help them to understand them better. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Their way of thinking, their way of being, their way of interacting with you, or even maybe even helping to heal them. You understand? In certain type of ways. Because the fact of the matter is, some people who have gone through this were traumatized. This was ritualistic abuse. You understand what I'm saying? And there's numbers of people who are pleasure seekers. This was fun and games to them, and they solely doing so on their own accord type of thing. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Okay, so that's the reason why I broke all that stuff down to you, and the meaning of certain things and the understanding of certain things on various different levels here. Okay, so everybody got a good understanding. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Shine Bright Like a Diamond with an underscore between each word. You can contact me at tiffanyziegler60@gmail.com or at tiff.diamond.36@gmail.com. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can do so through Cash App, which is $tiffdiamond36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. Okay, guys, let me get a drink of water. Hold on. Okay, guys. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies, okay? Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There is wickedness in high places, and there is evil that is lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So y'all watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep. Watch the surroundings and the company in which your children are in as well. And considering the fact that you never know whom may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, keep you some protection on you. Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.